Hi guys, it's Jess or Tread Millionaire. I just wanted to talk today about why I had the gastric sleeve surgery. I've always been the fat kid since birth through kindergarten. My entire life I've always been overweight and different to my friends, and it never became a problem to me until I realised how sort of sick and unhealthy I was. And it was about when I was in year 2, grade 2, where I started to see my first dietitians, my doctors, because I was so overweight as a child and my parents were concerned for my health. And I tried Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, different doctors, dietitians, you name it. I tried it. I went everywhere, and it got to the point where I was 18. I finished school. I didn't leave the house for about 3 months after I finished school, and I was extremely depressed and suicidal because I had no life, I had no future, I had no friends, I had nothing. I didn't leave the house. My life was just terrible. I was a size 26 at the age of 18. I had to get my formal dress custom made because I couldn't find anything big enough to fit me, and I had to ask a family friend to come with me to the formal or prom because everyone that I asked said no and nobody asked me. So my life was pretty sad, and my auntie actually had the gastric band surgery and lost about 40 kilograms, and the way that she had a relationship with food was very similar to the way that I had mine. I overate all the time, a massive emotional eater. I had a lot of problems with that, and I decided that if she could change her mind and change her attitude and be able to do this, that I would be able to do it as well. So I went to see my surgeon. I got a referral from my doctor and went to see my surgeon, and originally had booked in for the gastric band surgery. And after I'd spoken to my psychologist, which was part of the requirement being 18, he recommended that because of the way that I ate, that I should have the gastric sleeve instead. And this was really kind of unheard of for me at the time. I didn't really know that much about the gastric sleeve surgery. I knew that vertical sleeve gastrectomy was reserved for people who were quite morbidly obese, and that the gastric bypass was kind of out of my league, even because it was for more extreme cases than even my own. So I chose to have the gastric sleeve instead upon the advice of my surgeon and my psychologist and the team at Weight Loss Solutions Australia, and that was one of the best decisions that I've ever made. I don't know that I would have been as successful having the gastric band, and I was concerned about having foreign articles in my body that could potentially break down in years or slip or break or anything, and I decided that the gastric sleeve was more permanent and that it would be a safer, more long-term option for me, so that's why I selected that. My surgery itself was very straightforward. I don't recall ever having thoughts about excess skin or a goal even at that point. You have to understand that if you're watching this now, I assume that you are either in the same position that I was, or you are looking back on it now, and I was suicidal. I was ready to kill myself, and I had nowhere else to go. I had nowhere to turn. I had nothing, and this was my last resort. I didn't have a goal weight in mind. I was not connected to the weight loss community at this time, so I didn't have any inspiration, no blogs, no nothing to get me started. This was just purely me saving my own life at this point. And my surgery was quite scary, to be honest, and when I think back on it, I just dove into it and didn't even think about, the pain or potential risks associated with anything. I just wanted to save my life, and that was it. So I had the surgery at John Flynn Hospital on the Gold Coast, and it was obviously the best decision that I've ever made. But at the time, a couple of days later, I was wondering, what the hell have I done? I felt sick, I was nauseous, and it was a horrible, terrible experience, but only lasted a few days, and obviously is completely worth it. And my journey is not common. I got quite sick after I had my surgery. I was not able to keep down any fluid at all. Even a month later, I was very sick and I was readmitted to hospital. And my doctor determined that I had a blockage in my stomach and potentially was going to operate again, and I was put on a drip and just miraculously cleared itself, and within a day I was able to eat, and I bypassed the soft food stage. I went straight into the liquids stage. I went straight into eating again, and the first thing that I had half a Wheat Bix with skim milk, and I couldn't even eat the half Wheat Bix. So it was a massive learning curve, and I remember being sick multiple times, learning to eat again, because literally you are learning to adjust to a new stomach. And when I used to eat, it was generally out of shame, and because I wanted to hide it, I would eat so quickly that nobody could see me eating. And so learning to adjust to eat again and to slow down and really appreciate my food and allow my stomach to register that I was full and that I was eating was a completely amazing learning curve for me. And I lost about 20 kilograms in the first month after being so sick and everything, and I didn't really notice too much of a change in my weight for the first few months. Even though I'd lost about 30 kilograms in the first few months, I didn't really notice too much of a difference at that point. But every day I was walking, and I lost about my first almost 50 kilograms just by walking, just by my diet and exercise alone. I am from Byron Bay in northern New South Wales, and I just used to walk on the beach almost every day. That's it. I didn't lift weights, I didn't do anything. Just making that change in my diet and walking and slowly progressing to jogging and further really helped me. So I lost about 50 kilos initially, and then to help me shift the last 25 or so has really been CrossFit, yoga, and running have been my three major turning points, and now I do boot camp as well. So the key to my success has been learning how to eat for myself for a long-term lifestyle. It's about my life now. It's not about going on a diet. It's not about cutting out everything and depriving myself of things that I like or things that I want. I've worked out a plan that is right for me, that I can adhere to, and that allows me to have what I like, and I enjoy exercise now. Going from somebody that literally had to get momentum to get out of bed in the morning because I physically couldn't even roll out of bed on my own, to somebody that can run the City to Surf, which is like 14 kilometers, a running event, to doing CrossFit, to doing yoga, to having a life, is one of the most amazing things that I think this surgery has given me. And for people that think that it's the easy way out, it is truly not. The pain that I suffered and the fact that it is a permanent change to your stomach is a massive commitment. And honestly, it's a tool, because if I hadn't started changing my eating habits, I'm still able to eat anything that I like. I can eat. Right now, my stomach is stretched. It's, 5 years since I've had that surgery, and I can easily eat, a cheeseburger meal and a lot of food if I really want to. I can do no exercise and eat as much junk food as possible. So it doesn't stop me from putting all that weight back on again. There's absolutely no truth in the fact that it's the easy way out, and for people that say that, they have no experience in the subject, and I would never listen to those people because they have absolutely no idea. So I contribute my success to a change in my diet and my lifestyle, and really an attitude change. Like, once you take responsibility for your life and for the reason why you are the way you are, then things will change. And I think my parents found out that there was no way that they could force me to change. From the age of 7, they tried to help me. They really did try to help me, and they weren't the ones that enabled me into eating. I used to take money from them and go to the shops. I used to get off the school bus and do it myself. They would never allow me to eat the way that I did, and I treated them so terribly for a long time. and I'm very ashamed of what I did, and we have mended every bridge, and my parents have always been the most supportive people in the world, and I am so thankful to have them because they have just been just wonderful for me every step of the way. And I think this surgery is not for everybody, honestly, because as I said, it is just a tool to get you started into your new lifestyle. There is no guarantee that you will lose a lot of weight. There is absolutely no guarantee in that. It is all hard work and commitment and perseverance. And if you think that this will help you to kickstart your journey, then go and do it. Do it. I 100% recommend it. It is difficult and one of the most incredible things you will ever do in your life, but it has saved my life. It has given me a life and given me the tools I needed to change my life and to make myself a lot better. And that was ultimately my decision for why I had the gastric sleeve, and I would do it again tomorrow. And I hope that if you are thinking about it, then you will seriously consider every aspect of this surgery, and that I will always answer any questions. If you have any about it, please let me know, send me a message, and I will reply.